Go now to dryerbuzz.com and follow @dryerbuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.
She's awake. She's awake. I had to wait a little bit because today is leaf blower day, and the leaf blower is pushing it to the limit. But I want you to wake up sensitive. I woke up sensitive. I'm trying to be sensitive. It's hard to be sensitive in this world of where we can scroll and find out. But and you think it will cause more sensitivity. Unfortunately, it's caused our lifestyles today has caused more indignity. Write that down. I want us to wake up sensitive, but let's just face it. Spell it for me. I can't even spell it. Let's just face it. I think we want to be more sensitive because there's so much indignation. Is that the word? So much indignity going on in the world. There's so much evidence. Write that down. Evidence. I'm writing already. I ain't even said hello. Who I was is already flowing. And this is actually a conversation that's part 2 of yesterday. Yesterday we talked about 24 hours before this podcast. The podcast was Wake Up Mad, Motivated, and Determined. And in that conversation we talked about heartbreak. There's a lot of malice out there. We want the M in our mad to not stand for malice, but be just motivated, right? But unfortunately, we're having to deal with a lot of malice intent. It's causing a lot of heartbreak. And so a lot of us are walking around here just sad. Most people who are sad, most people who are sensitive, they're not sad that things have happened to them. They're sad about things that happen to the world. Mother Teresa, y'all's generation, y'all don't have any saints out there today. My generation, and think about it, my generation at a time when we had less public. You couldn't be as public as you are today. You couldn't create as much drama, publicity, go trending, go viral. We didn't have but 3 television channels, maybe a few top news. You couldn't even get a newspaper across the country. You had to do this thing called what was it? Where they tap 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 Morse code, right? You had to. Y'all got to go back and see how we had to live and what we had to live with. Now there were still indignant people around us as well, because already know the history of the world, but at the same time, we had more saints, right? Because the little bit of information that they could find out that there was something wrong in different places in the world, the sensitive person, because it wasn't popular to be mean or to be mean-spirited or to take somebody out or to, that wasn't the popular thing. It was easy to become a saint or to be known as a saint. Mother Teresa. Oh my God, there's so many others. I'm just trying to think. What was the other one? Other guy. It was 2. There was 2. Golly, my brain is horrible. Oh, Gandhi. Gandhi and all these other people of our parents, not even our time, they came along. These are people who in their youth witnessed horrible things. They're like, I'm going to spend the rest of my days, every waking breath, make sure that does not happen to the world again. So there are all these people that did that. And when we were coming through the educational system, it was something you learn. Y'all don't learn too much today because apparently they feel like y'all won't retain it, and it's certainly not going to impact who you are. But it does. It does impact who you are. Shout out to those who wake up sensitive. They wake up. There are people who woke up the first thing, if they went to sleep at all. Right now, they are galvanizing people to go in for hurricane relief. We're watching the rescues. We don't see hurricane coverage with the same negative, stereotypical aspects. And Hurricane Katrina changed all of that, right? People are like, no, we don't want to see that. Y'all not going to degrade people like that anymore. So now you really get to see if anything comes through, because people are like, nope, not letting media in. They don't let the cameras in. They tell their own stories. You didn't have that during Katrina where people are telling their own stories, right? Now today, nobody has to wait for the media to come and the media to hopefully get it right and to stop coming trying to find the negative aspect of a community or town. And y'all know that's just how I feel about local news. But people are out there telling their own stories, and they're out there and rescuing people. And man, as much when you hear storm surge, like the water, you hear all the time, and in a lifetime, the water's gonna come on in, right? These bodies of land. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to prepare you. There are things that are shifting with the bodies of land that we existing on, and all this water that's on this planet, right? Things are shifting. We're just not supposed to stay in one place always and forever. And we've been in one place quite long. And so right now we're in the midst of hurricane season. I live in a place where our weather season is around March, between March and April. So we've obviously survived, but then we're scared because it didn't happen in March and April, and there's a shift, so it can happen at any time. I live in an area where we deal with tornadoes, and it used to be, hey, you batten down the hatches in March, but now you just never know. The weather's been manipulated so much so. And that's not conspiracy. That's just, hey, this thing is going on. So, but wake up sensitive. There are those that are looking at these images and they're just making them sad. So yesterday, as we broke down MAD, Motivated and Determined, Still Haven't Told You Who I Am, because I wanted to get right into this conversation. If this is your first time hearing this is a podcast that I'm taping live, and I tape it on my social media, and then I turn it into the podcast, and it gets syndicated on the podcast platforms. And it is for those who have a little bit of trouble, like I have experienced, waking up, getting out of bed. For those of us that may, have to deal with, we live too far into the future, so we live with all this anxiety. This could happen, that could happen. Or we live too far in the past, and we deal with all this, what they call it, depression. Meaning that, man, if we could just go back and change that. Well, you can't. You can't. You got to figure out how to not get beyond it, not get over it. You got to deal with it, because once it has happened, it is always and forever. Time travel may come. I'm a black woman. I ain't traveling. I'm not going back. Nope, you might send me to the wrong place. And those who have, I've heard, and those who have been depicted in movies and in entertainment that have time travel, they always go back to the wrong place. They never go back and truly undo or do what needs to be done or undone. All right, they never get it right. So I'm like, you can come to me all day long talking about, hey, you want, first of all, no, I don't want to time travel. I don't want to go back, because nobody has really figured out. Nobody can really tell you if that thing that you want to undo, that thing that you want to fix, you wouldn't fix it if you were given every opportunity, because you do it wrong again. You would do it wrong again because that's who you were born to do those things. The things you've done right, the things you've done wrong, I don't care if it just happened. If you were given that second back, you'd make the same mistake. Because if you try to go back just to that moment, that's not where you learn to do it wrong. You don't know where you picked that bad habit up of disrespecting people. You don't know where you picked that bad habit up. Let's go back over to yesterday, right? With malice in your heart. We don't know. If you're going to go travel in time, you have to go back to where the malice was implanted in your heart. You don't know when that moment was. And until you figure out that moment, stop trying to tell me you'd fix it. You wouldn't fix it. Nope. You wouldn't. Hold on. Let me get a little water in the organs. Because we're talking about a healing. I don't know. I know a lot of people, but I don't know a lot of people that wake up each and every day wanting to heal the world. I do a podcast on Tuesdays, and we talk about the fact that women could have saved the world. Each and every week, each and every day, our chances, choices, we could save women could save the world. Women give birth to the world. We could say, hey, listen, when you come through us, here's what you need to do. Women don't do that. Therefore, we have to have a podcast each and every week and say if we could travel in time. Because there's a proverb that says, you can tell somebody, I'm paraphrasing, right? Supposedly, if you tell a woman it's whatever needs to get done, gets done. Michelle Obama used it in one of her speeches, and I love that saying, because for the most part, it will get done. But even if it gets done, nobody's going to really see it, because they're not going to believe a woman did it and it's done. Okay, let me just go back. Okay, again, did I tell you? I'm Yolanda. Most people know me as at Dryer Buzz. And for, oh my God, an enormous amount of time, I have been podcasting, live streaming, and also blogging under the brand Dryer Buzz for 17 years, getting ready to be 18 years. I'm trying to take Dryer Buzz into 2020. Y'all don't know how many times I had wanted to pack this stuff away, and I was trying to unpack a box just yesterday. I'm like, I guess I need to unpack this podcast equipment. I'm like, retirement. I can't quite retire just yet. People who have followed, they know I get tired of this stuff, y'all. I get so tired of them. Like Petty Betty had me out there yesterday trying to inspire me to go back into the kitchen. We out there looking at Dutch ovens. Y'all know how bad I want this red Dutch oven. Okay, so got the red Dutch oven, right? Anyway. And so I've been thinking about, okay, going back into the kitchen, what am I gonna make? People wake up trying to inspire us, y'all, because they know they don't want to see us sad. And so we broke down mad, motivated, and determined. And we said that sad was sensitive about discussion. We Gary Busey our words, and I'm gonna give Gary Busey credit because he's slightly older than I am. But this is just a technique that I like to do to make things make sense, and to if it's something I'm going to keep or something I'm going to live by, I definitely want things to have meaning. And when we talk about people who are sensitive, people who are sad, they just want things to have meaning. Write that down. They want everything. So you're probably telling them it don't need to be all that. They want everything to have a meaning. What does this mean that we're going to do this? How important, if you're probably like, it's not important. And now they're sensitive about discussion, sensitive about the day. I don't know, whatever you want it to be. But it just means being sensitive. And hopefully you have some sensitive people around you. Like I'm going to be sensitive to the fact that I am live. I said loud. I am live on a couple of platforms. So I'm going to ask you to meet me over on our Facebook page. And I will monitor that because I saw that's where the comments were on yesterday. I do have another device at my disposal. So I'm going to go ahead and meet you guys over there. Now we've got two. We record also on our Dryer Buzz base, the regular Dryer Buzz page. But if you want to filter just for the how to get out of bed, there is a how to get out of bed page, as well as YouTube channel, Periscope, Twitter, all of that stuff. And we also take excerpts and put those. That's what I do for the rest of the day. Take the excerpts and we drop them on your Instagram. So I'm going to come over here just so I can engage you guys. I'll go ahead and like that post. And I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to go ahead and start a watch party. Okay, I shouldn't sing early in the morning, should I? Let me see here. You know what? And I don't have watch party on as an option on the iPad. The iPad it's suffering. I need to update. I thought I did, but Facebook and all these umpteen thousand versions of Facebook. I'll do that later. So I'm just gonna watch for comments over there. But and the leaf blower is going absolutely crazy. I don't understand it. It's like I have waited almost an hour. Twice he has come back this way. You ain't working that hard. I'm not gonna be sensitive to the freaking leaf blower. I don't understand it. It's like go away. The leaves haven't even fallen. You ain't cut no grass. They ain't even heard no more. No nothing. Just you walking around with this daggone gas ass leaf blower. What is he blowing? Now I appreciate the work. I'm not about to be sensitive to it. And you know what? And I'm probably gonna go ahead and stop because obviously he done got on my last nerve. Listen. Coming closer and closer. You didn't cut the hedges. What are you blowing? I ain't heard no hedge trimming, no more. The leaves have not fallen. I don't understand what he's blowing. Help me become more sensitive to this work. I don't get it. And y'all probably like, we can't even hear it because I got on this headset. And it's not noise cancellation headset, but it is an Apple product. So y'all, I'm over here like listening to the leaf blower. Y'all might not even be able to hear because Apple is that product. Apple will let you bootleg everything. That's why the podcast sound as great as it does. But sensitive about discussion. We need to learn how to navigate around with sensitive people because these are the people who have a conscience. And I'm looking at my timeline. I know you're looking at yours. There's not a lot of people out there with consciousness. It's not a lot of people out there that take time to process what's happening in the world. It's not a lot of people that will take time to walk by. Like me, I drive the city, so I might see a situation like the other day, pulled up to the light, and let me tell y'all, this is how I knew the traffic pattern was. I'm like, wait, there was a guy with the homeless veteran sign, that had on the name brand pants. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude, go ahead with you. And then I came back through that area, and I'm like, dang, where the panhandle? I'm sitting at the light, and I noticed there were no panhandles. I also noticed there was no traffic. I'm like, damn, I'm sorry. I'm like, they know the traffic pattern. I'm like, there was no traffic, and I was like, unbelievable. But that's something I'm not sensitive to. Sometimes I am, and I am one of those people. I do keep a couple of dollars in case I see the kid selling water that I'm like, well, he actually selling water. I look for that. I don't know. There's some things I'm a blogger, so I'm sensitive to a lot of things because I'm sensitive to content, right? I'm sensitive to this might be a content moment, but there are a lot of things that I am not sensitive to, and I wish I could be more sensitive, like the homeless situation. For the most part, a lot of them I just call them outdoor dwellers, and I get a little slack. I don't make an error with the conversation because people usually go, "Oh, I never thought about it that way." I mean, some of them are just true outdoor dwellers. Like, say for instance, I live in Atlanta, and we had this center that sits on prime real estate, and they were trying to close it down, and basically it created such an unsafe environment. And mind you, now I love economic development. I love development. But this particular center created such an unsafe environment. And I, as a woman, had to navigate through that a lot, right? So I wasn't sensitive to the closing of this center or relocation. And I don't know how it fully played out because there were some others that I think they collaborated with. And I think they're probably still in the process because this particular entity or body of work wants to operate the center, but there was just so much hazardness, recklessness that happens around these places. Now, mind you, places like this, they serve a population inside the dwelling, right? But all that goes on within the perimeter of the dwelling, around the dwelling, X amount of blocks around the dwelling, that part is not part. That's the part that doesn't get served. So as a woman, having to sit at the red light, you gonna see some stuff. And I was one of those people. I'm tired of seeing. I love driving by there right now. I don't mind sitting at the red light, having the window down. I'm not gonna be assaulted mentally or physically. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I want to be safe, and I don't want the part I'm sensitive to. I want to be safe, but I don't want my safety to have to inconvenience. So I don't have to go through that. I can go around. But hell, everybody got tired of going around, right? Just got tired of it. It's like, because it's on the way to a whole lot of stuff, not to mention right outside the hospital, right? But I'm sensitive to, I don't want the convenience I want in life to inconvenience anybody else. I'm sensitive to that part. So let's go back. Let's write that down, right? I don't want my conveniences to be somebody else's inconvenience, right? And I don't want their convenience, your conveniences to inconvenience me, because we do live on a planet where everybody can kind of have little or even a lot of what they want. Everybody gets to carve out this thing, and I don't know why it is we feel like it has to be an or situation. I have spent all of this week trying to get us to go from or to and. I literally have gotten to the point where I would hear somebody say or, and I would go, why not and? Why not both? Why can't we have both? Why can't we serve this need? Because here's the thing about dealing with, and mind you, I came out of community organizing. One of the biggest issues with community organizing is everybody will give you money to broad stroke problems. Here's a broad stroke brush across the problem. And it's like time travel. Nobody wants to go back into where this thing was born. Where was this thing birthed? in our country that we deal with this. And I'm looking back at the other page, because if you're gonna fix homelessness, it's not even about building a dwelling and putting a person in it, which is what the city wants to do. Now you hear all these exorbitant amount of dollars thrown around. Oh, they're gonna take 50 million and 60 million and build these dwellings. You can build as many dwellings as you want to. Majority of those people not going inside those dwellings, because there's a bunch of dwellings out. Dwellings are everywhere. Dwellings are everywhere, and as far as affordable and they can exist. I'm telling you, hell, you can go on Amazon. I know they can't go. They can. Yeah! I'm not sensitive to that. Everybody can go on Amazon and buy a house right now. You can go on Amazon and buy. They got a dwelling. You can put it in your purse and you pop it. You take the thing off and voila, it's a dwelling. All right. You want X amount of square foot. Okay, well, no, you don't get that. Everybody don't get that. I'm just saying. But that's a band-aid. I know that's a band-aid. Because some of y'all getting your feelings, particularly around the holiday season, y'all go on Amazon, y'all buy all these blankets and purses and tents and all this stuff. And next thing you know, it's a whole ass neighborhood under the bridge. They get ready to clean off up under the bridge, right? And like the wintertime, y'all, I'm out late at night. So I see this stuff. I see a side of the city that a lot of people don't want to see. And the people walking around with the blankets and carrying all this stuff. Like they got the blanket and the fancy purse because you in your sensitivity have gone in your closet and gotten your old purse and you done fell prey to that thing coming across Facebook or that group that says, hey, let's fill up our purses with all of these amenities and go give it to a homeless person. Y'all need to stop. I'm not sensitive to that. I don't know who y'all are, but I know y'all already over there drafting the email to get your little group together to pass out these purses. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? Take you and your friends' money. Don't go buy nothing. Zero zilch. Don't you buy another thing. Okay? I'm going to tell you how to be real. Take that money over there to the organization, because the organizations that addresses the needs of these people, they do not have the operating budgets to for the money to go from the suites to the streets. They can go in the suites and get millions of dollars. Do you know that those millions of dollars are not earmarked for the programs that's going to, if you're going to help them travel back in time and heal this or that person of why they are on the street? Your purse, your blanket, your tent, and there are some, if y'all don't know, there are some managed tent cities that people for various reasons cannot be within particular ranges of particular places. See, you over there rolling up with the car, want to feed folk, when many of them shouldn't be X amount of feet close to this, that, or the other. You want them to come to the church. Well, the church, I'm sorry, is across the street from the school. Many of them, some of them, cannot be in particular ranges. So, but y'all don't think about this stuff because you want to do a good deed. And and I'm talking about this because we're headed into sensitive season. Let me write that down, right? And if I can get you to act differently in sensitive season, like you know how we hit sensitive season. If you just bought it, and then one thing, okay, and you know what? I don't even know about buying the book bags and the school supplies. I mean, I think you should particularly know a teacher or a school in your neighborhood and know what that need is. You know, and I know they keep saying, "Oh, everybody go buy the book," but yeah, but what happens? What's going on 30 days in? Okay, I know here in Georgia, we're 30 days into the school. All that stuff everybody bought, you know, ain't nobody bottom line did well except for the company that makes all that stuff, right? They print those lists, put them in the stores. All the parents go into panic. You can't afford that stuff. I know. I had 4. I had to buy all that stuff times 4 for 3-4 different schools at a time. And I'm like, this don't make no sense. I would have to work overtime all summer long because you don't want your children to not have, and they can fit in because you know how cruel kids are in school, right? I used to have to work like crazy over the summertime because I had to plan my stuff all year long. And you know how they do. They go into dad's house all summer, and they're going to show back up, and they ain't going to come. Fellas, no, I'm sorry, not fellas, I'm sorry. Because the single-headed male households have increased tenfold. Absentee parent, weekend summer parent, convenient parent, whatever, however we designated them now. You already know if they're there with the summer. When they arrive for the summer, you need to start shopping right then and there. Don't wait and drop them off and act like, you know, school start every year. And you know the minute they go to school, the next thing you need to do is start working on that Halloween costume. And you know Halloween costumes are not cheap. You need to be sensitive to what these children need. Absentee, weekend, summer parenting, okay? Don't get mad because 30 days after you done dropped them back off, you get in that car, listen. Because these kids, they want to do a full-on damn cosplay for Halloween now. And you over there, you get to go cosplay yourself. No, let me tell y'all, and I don't mean to put anybody in a panic. Yes, the Halloween stuff is on the shelf. Okay? After they take down all that school supply, those 2-3 hours of school supply, they immediately become the Halloween cosplay. And these children, like I said, they want to do full-on cosplay. Ain't no buying no all-in-one or put this on or a makeshift. Wear the pillowcases. Wear the pillowcases we not going to use no more. Go and cut some holes into that. These children want cosplay. If you don't know what I'm saying, you are not sensitive to this thing. You better go figure it out, okay? And they ain't trying to just put on a little Black Panther all in one. They want to be the Dora Milaje and all them. I hope I said that right. They want to be Killmonger with the with that skin. I'm telling these children. Oh, Jesus, I'm so glad my children grown. Anyway, but then still cosplay. Be sensitive season. Let me get back to it. Let me tell you. Stop buying stuff. I know you went to church and they said on third Sunday, everybody bring. Let me tell y'all why I stopped going to church. I'm gonna tell y'all. And mind you, and let me tell you, Jesus was. Let me tell you what Jesus did. Black Jesus. Let me tell you what black Jesus. I'm black, so we got black Jesus. All right, let me tell you what black Jesus did. So I particularly had started visiting churches. Story time. I particularly started visiting churches in my neighborhood. And I'm like, and I grew up Methodist, right? And we all grew up Methodist. My grandparents were founded Methodist churches and all that kind of stuff. Well, the Methodist church is what's the word? I don't know the word. Stringent. It's like it is what it is, right? And I'm like, shoot, I want some of that good singing. I want to be able to do this, that, and the other. So I found a church. No, I didn't find the church. Church found me. The church found me. And I went and I checked out some churches and stuff like that. Even your boy, Sean, that now does all the commentary and all that kind of stuff. Y'all love. I can't find his name. Anyway, he planted a church. And there was this whole thing about everybody was coming to Atlanta, planting churches. And I was visiting all these churches. I'm like, I'm not trying to drive all the way around town. I'm not trying to fight in the parking lot, for the parking spaces. I ain't trying to rush in. I really don't want to have to be told where to sit. But then one Easter Sunday, I started saying this thing. Oh, the church is coming in your neighborhood. This is what everything I asked for. It was like a brand new church. It was coming to the neighborhood. And I'm like, it was going to be small, even though it ended up being a multi-location with a bishop on a helicopter situation, right? And I said, ooh, let's go. Got my family, let's go. And that's when I found out it was a bishop on the helicopter kind of thing. But I'm like, okay, well, he only comes periodically. It's some local people going to, conduct this thing or whatever. Anyway, so I started going. And then they used to have these, and I wasn't the one. I'm like, I ain't in touch with y'all all week long. So by the time Sunday came, if it was a themed Sunday, I didn't know about it because I wasn't reading the emails. I ain't all up on the website. I don't know how to clap like that. I'm kind of from the Methodist. Y'all doing too much anyway, right? We're supposed to just kind of like sit here. But I do get into it. And then, it ended up being some of the best content. I was like, that choir be getting down. man, Instagram and all that stuff was new, and I'm the only one up, and I'm like, well, I called it hashtag view from my pew. Go check it out. I'm telling you, most awesome stuff it was, And once it started getting popping on YouTube, the people up in the pulpit start playing all into it. What she had with that camera? Okay, I'm just saying. Right, anyway, so I noticed they started having these themes. And y'all, when I tell y'all, let me tell you what these folk did. And I was like, oh no, I'm done with this. This is insane. When Trayvon Martin was murdered by the vigilante, they actually, I'm sitting there and I noticed they start going up to there's no pulpit, the stage. They start walking down to the stage, and I was like, what they doing? Y'all, somebody has sent out an email telling these folk to bring some daggone Skittles. These people, I'm like sheeple, whatever y'all want to call them, I was highly embarrassed. I'm still to this day embarrassed telling this story because it's one of the largest multi-denominational bishop on a helicopter situations going on. Now, mind you, there was a little repentance after that because, they got a blogger up in there and she didn't respond too well. They actually came in droves and put these Skittles on their stage, which is supposed to be in a pulpit altar. Okay, I still can't figure out the whole where the altar part come in, but they did. And I was like, I know daggone well y'all did not go to the store. All these stores right here and buy up no damn Skittles. That's insane. And I'm sorry, that was insane. When there is a Trayvon Martin Foundation to this day that to this day cannot raise as much money as the freaking vigilante that murdered him. To this day, the vigilante who is still on the streets terrorizing, torturing citizens of America, whose family is like, why y'all didn't put this man in jail? Okay, he could go at any given moment and raise more money than the Legal Defense Fund, than the Trayvon Martin Foundation, than the Eric Garner Foundation, than all the other names that we can sit and call. And y'all went and bought some daggone Skittles. They had to come back. They had to come back and say, y'all, we didn't do that right. We did not do that right. Because they was getting hit. Let me tell you, people want to say, what they say, haters gonna hate. Haters only hate when you make an error. I keep telling y'all, haters highly attracted to errors. Hate. There's an error. Unless you fix that error, I'm not going to be sensitive to y'all buying these purses, putting these products in there, thinking you're doing something by handing that purse to a homeless person. She better go. Let me tell you, go out there, get all your good girlfriends together, and all these purses you claim you don't use no more. Go put that stuff over there on the Facebook market. Take that money to a true foundation and let them do the work. Because they could take that money. I don't care what you made. They're going to put it with other money and other money and other money, and they're going to meet their budget, and they're going to go out there and they're going to get the help that people need. They're going to go out there and not dole out food out of the back of their car, which half of these people shouldn't be eating anyway because they have undiagnosed mental health issues that literally derive from the food that you are providing them. And you're not out there in the middle of the night having to watch fire and rescue and all these first responders come up on these scenes of people who done ate because you don't put too much salt up in there or too much sugar. You don't know what they're supposed to be. You don't know what triggers their mental health. And yet they don't run up on people who just out there trying to enjoy life and then stab somebody or they hallucinating. You don't know what triggers the schizophrenia. You don't know, they're already undiagnosed and not on medication. You don't know what happens in the emergency rooms in these hospitals. I'm passionate about it. I'm sensitive to it. I'm sensitive about, God, what did Erica Badu say? I'm sensitive about this discussion. I'm sad. I'm sensitive about discussing this. I'm just saying because these are the things that go on. Now, mind you, that's just my pet peeve and the part of this whole thing that I'm passionate about. But I have the platform to talk about when I'm past. You can come, you can say, well, Dry Buzz is not how it works. And I'm going to go get the founder of the organizations and let them tell you that's kind of how it works, because they all have a budget to meet. And if you don't go and jump online or go catch the blanket sale, because these stores, they depending on that. They can't wait to put the little $5 blankets out there because they know you're going to come and buy 100 of them because the event, the party you want to go to telling you to bring a blanket, that because they're going to do a blanket drive, right? Take that you're going to go spend, buy 10 blankets, take that $50, or better yet, take that $100, and you and your 100 friends, take that money and give it dollars. And I know you're like, wait, but we don't know. Listen, there are some legitimate organizations out there that they don't have to put that money in the operating budget, that money is going to go right on the street. Let me tell you right now, there are people that have evacuated. There are people that have evacuated. You saw when that hurricane, it stayed in one place. That means that the people that evacuated, who were always thinking that the storm is only going to be a couple of days, and now the storm has been a week, they didn't have money to stay in those hotels all that time. They don't have money to get back. Now, guess what? Somebody who used to live here is now living here and all out of their element. What do you think that's triggering? Write that down. What do you think that's triggering for them? Right? There are organizations that are out there right now trying to raise money to pay the extra hotel fee, because all of the emergency organizations only give them X amount, and then they have to go through these, they have to appeal for others. You already know what it's like waiting on FEMA, Federal Emergency Management, and all that kind of stuff to come in. So I'm just saying, if you are sensitive to this, don't go jumping online buying stuff. Don't go running down to the store. You know me, people are like, man, you shading bottled water. Don't go buying cases and cases of bottled water. Don't do it. Because you buying a case of water and that organization buying a case of water, first of all, somebody's going to match. If you take your $50 and you go give it to a foundation or organization, they've got entities that match that. So your $50 just became $10,000. Does that make sense, right? Because your $50 is matched, and they can't get the $10,000 because they can't come to the community to get the $50. That's what happens. When you hear, like you heard Jay-Z them talking about they finna get $400,000. Well, there's a reason it's particularly $400,000, because when it's doled out to the organizations that's actually doing the work, they'll tell them, well, you get 100,000 of this as a match, meaning they got to go then raise 100,000. But you don't trust the organization. You rather go spend that 100,000 at the store that's already disrespecting your neighborhood, so you can feel good about walking in with a case of water, all that plastic that's going to sit there and pollute the earth, right? I'm just saying. I'm sensitive about this. I have a platform to talk about it. This is just a part of the conversation. I'm just saying, as we go into sensitive season, just think about doing something different. And can I tell you this? If you want to be, what's the word? Grandiose. If you need some immediate gratification, let me tell you what the immediate gratification, instead of walking in with that case of water, let me tell you and your girlfriends, or you and your guy friends, however y'all identify, whatever, right? If your group goes in and makes that kind of donation, your name could go on the building. I'm just saying. You drive around here like, damn, how did their name get on the street? How did their name go on that building? Let me tell y'all. Spend a year raising money. If y'all can come up with that kind of money in sensitive season, imagine if your group went to some of these entities with having made that donation. There's a group out there where there's a couple of groups you can join, and you and 10 of your friends, y'all basically raise $1,000 a month, right? And then we're getting the numbers. You're like, but y'all spend that. Y'all spent that at brunch. You spend it at brunch, so shut up. But you and your friends, y'all could join this association. Y'all can become associated, and it's called like the Awesome Foundation. There are a number of these. They have this. There's a thought process of unifying that came out of Africa, the continent, one of the countries in Africa, right? or the habit of, it's in our DNA. It's in our DNA to do stuff collectively, right? So one of this particular foundation and foundations like it, you get X amount of friends and y'all commit to an X amount of a dollar amount over a time period, right? So this particular one, for several years, a friend of mine, a colleague is in it, and they raise $1,000, 10 friends, you get 10, and y'all do $1,000 a month. And then y'all get to have a nice event presenting that $1,000 to an entity. And let me tell you, the entity, people, and what happens is people submit, hey, here's what if I got the $1,000, here's what I would do with it. And most of them will say, well, if I got the $1,000, I could immediately, and this is what it's about satisfying an immediate need. They give the money, this the money that's going to do something with it immediately. Probably already, it's going to reimburse what they're already doing, right? Or depending on whatever the stipulations are of the group, okay? And one of the things, we don't do a lot of this is because in our DNA, or being African American in America, we don't trust a lot of these. We've seen a lot of stuff stolen. We've seen a lot of money stolen. We've seen a lot of entities don't work out. But there's so many of them because we have so much immediate need in many of our communities, particularly in our schools, particularly with the disenfranchised, marginalized, homeless, mental health, all of those different things. People cross through these things, but we because of the trust factor, we miss a lot of opportunity to really show and that we're sensitive to this stuff, sensitive about this discussion. So, sensitive season is upon us. We saw it with back to school. I think the rest of the country went back to school this week, so you probably won't see any more book bag drives. And because a book bag drive should happen every week, to tell you the truth. Ask these teachers, and they like y'all showing up with all these glue sticks, and the glue sticks already dried up, and they can't. And they really, one of the reasons they have to ask for so much stuff because they have to end up disposing a lot of it. And last year, honey, there was a bunch of pictures of them teachers taking some of that stuff back to the store. Some of them for their own good, but some of them just simply because that really wasn't where the need was. We're talking about kids showing up to school that are hungry, kids showing up to school that, we saw the video, very heartbreaking video, broke my heart so bad, y'all, where a gentleman was talking with found one of his mentors was out, didn't return to school. And young man, he spoke to me, it broke my heart because I have a son. And I know how just little bitty things can trigger self-esteem. I won't say mental health, but self-esteem issues in young men, which is one of the reasons why I made sure that my son, he didn't want to go, but go to that barbershop. And y'all, let me tell y'all out there sharing this video of this lady that took her son to this barbershop, hell to all of y'all. First of all, stop thinking. I know the barbershop is a great place to have conversation, but it's a lot of brokenness in the barbershop. The barbershop is full of men already dealing with their own brokenness. They already didn't have their dad. They didn't have grandfathers, uncles, and all this stuff. I spent a lot of time in the barbershop. I am always up in details, barber and beauty, which I'm probably getting ready to head back to after trying this new hairstyle. But let me just tell y'all, moms, aunties, and all of that, that's no. So this lady, there's a video, and I would never share it. It's heartbreaking. Takes her son. She's trying to get him to go get a haircut. And he literally cries and screams to the point where he says, I'm going to kill myself. Because what she doesn't know is it's not the haircut. There's a whole other issue going on there, right? And I know she's trying to do something. She's like, maybe if I help him look better, he'll no. You got to deal with that other thing first. And all of these men and all these people trying to hold this child down in this chair, taking him through this very traumatic experience, when somebody should have just said, okay, let's just stop. Let's find out. What does he want? Why does he want this? What's going on? You got to learn how to ask. People always tell me, what do you tell your children? You don't tell them nothing. You listen. You've got to remember what it was like being a child. You've got to remember. And I know she's trying to do this because she probably remembers something. She doesn't want whatever he's experiencing. She's so worried about him experiencing this other thing that what happens is we become so adamant about one extreme that we go to the other extreme. And this was such an extreme moment. And I'm like, I cannot believe that there was nobody in there who could be a rational and sound mind to say, listen, stop, this is not how we get this done. This is not how we get this done. And you know why we don't know? We don't know how to go and get these resources because we're too much out here with these broad strokes, thinking we just throw a blanket on it or a curse, It's like, no, that's not how this thing is done. And the sad part about it is there's so much video out there that you could watch that could give you the answer. It's so easy nowadays to get to an entity that could give you the solution. Okay? Write that down. That's what we want. I hope we're trying to get out of bed today sensitive because we want a solution. And I know there's some that don't because I monitor behavior online. And at the end of the day, I have to quantify that 60% really didn't even want the solution. That 30% really truly wanted the solution. That 10% have the solution and they can't get to the 30% because the 60% is out there saying, just shut up. Y'all won't even let the people with the solution get to the 30% that want the solution because 60% is in the way every day. It's in the way every day. Somebody come online and ask a question, y'all, people like, how dare you ask that? Why would you even put that online? Why are we even discussing this? What? I'm like, you better ask. You better ask. You better ask. You better not sit over there and perish in your own thoughts. You better ask. You better not sit over there and live in perish. You better inbox somebody. Hell, Facebook got it to the point you don't even have to just say it out loud. Okay? The device is listening. The entity is listening. I posted something the other day and it literally said, do you need a solution? And I was like, let me go down this wormhole. What does this thing ask me? It's like, it asked me to give feedback. It said, give feedback, or do you need some help or solution or something like that? And I was like, wow, I'm telling you. If you post in certain terms, it will ask if you're looking for recommendations. Let me tell you, you better be over there talking to Siri, Alexa, Google, all that stuff. You better ask. You are in a place where you are experiencing something. And unfortunately, you have crafted and curated friendships that aren't necessarily friendships. And you got to keep up certain personas and facets and facades. And you can't really be about what's really going on with you. Then, therefore, you better fix it. You better fix it. We're going into sensitive season. And insensitive season, my sensitive season is like, and this particular week, hell, this is the week that my mother passed. I'm sensitive. I'm real sensitive. But it's a milestone for me because I'm like, okay, girl, it's 2 years in. And I'm looking like, what should I be feeling? Because there's a whole process. There's a whole process to this thing. And dealing with grief, where should I be? Oh, because you start feeling a little guilty because you start feeling a little bit better, right? You're like, wait, am I supposed to feel better? Wait, oh my God, I didn't think about this yesterday. Or I didn't think about that. Or wait, where'd that feeling go? Is that okay? Is this supposed to happen? Because it's a wave, right? All these things happen in waves, Can I go dancing again? Can I have a drink? Because if I would, I'm out there on the dance floor and I'm like, wait, what is that? What is that? Oh Lord, that's grief. You got to get somewhere because the wave of grief is coming, right? Can I get on stage? Can I say yes to a speaking engagement? No, I don't know. Can I? If I go online and ask, what are the chances? 60% of the people are going to say the wrong thing. That's what they do, right? 30% of the people are going to want the answer that I'm looking for. But that 10%, they're going to be like, it's okay. You're going to feel this way. There's a reason why I am productive right now. 30%, like, yeah, we need how to get out of bed. 60% over there is like, what kind of podcast is this? Why is she talking about how to get out of bed? Because a lot of people can't get out of bed. 30% like, girl, where's today's episode? 10% is like, hey, listen, can you come and talk about how to get on the bed at this event, at that event, and the stage? What's your speaking fee? Is there a book to go with this? Is there a journal? Is there where can we go and listen to the podcast? I need umpteen more episodes. And then there's that 1% like, can I sponsor this? You know, can what's the number? I want to sponsor. I want this to keep going and going and going. What's the number? Right? That's 1%. Right? That's the 1% in the 10%. Be sensitive, y'all. Wake up sensitive. I'm gonna look at the clock, and we got about 10 minutes to go on this thing. But I'm gonna go 5 minutes over if you needed to be somewhere at the 45, depending on how you listen. Let me go ahead and reiterate what we talked about, because how to get out of bed is a journaling moment, and I've tried to watch the conversation on this iPad. I'm gonna have to update it because Apple products last forever, but they come with many updates. So let me look over here and see. Thank you so much for the sharing, and those that I was trying to do a watch party and I didn't get a chance to do it. Wait, let me see if I do that. I do that. Yeah, it's not coming. Watch party's not showing up on the iPad mini. So we'll do a watch party as we share the podcast. But it's a journaling moment. I create a word cloud with each of these. And this one was kind of a part two because we hit on it yesterday. We were talking about how to wake up mad, motivated, and determined. And we said sad, sensitive about discussions, sensitive about this discussion. And so I wrote down sensitive because there's a lot of indignity. There's a lot of indignity. There's a lot of evidence. I have, I think that's meaning. What did I write? I think the meaning of consciousness, convenience, inconvenience, and then sensitive season, triggering. Sensitive season is triggering for a lot of people, but there are solutions. There's a solution to everything. The solution comes forth only when we get quiet and listen. If you need a solution, the only way you are going to encounter a solution is if you are willing to listen, right? You've got to express that you need a solution. What is the solution you need today? That's our exercise today. What is the solution? I need a solution. Like, why is my chip bag empty? I need a solution. Okay. I'm sorry, I got hungry. You have to express it outwardly that you need a solution. You first of all got to face the fact that you need a solution. Like, what do you need? Like, I got to get back in this kitchen. Got another call yesterday about this episodes, right? But I'm like, I'm building something here, and like I want to do these nachos I want to do these epic nachos. Football season is getting ready to kick off. Bought that big red pot, y'all. Wait for it. I'm on the Falcons bandwagon this year, so I'm getting ready to do the red and black nachos. Wait for it. I'm gonna do this epic red and black nachos. Yeah, you already know I'm gonna have some black beans on there. Every red vegetable. You know I'm gonna have the red pepper. You know I'm gonna have some real tomatoes on there, right? OMG, I'm gonna do this epic red and black nachos. That it's gonna be an awesome video. Y'all gonna make these nachos every game day until we fall off the Falcons bandwagon. And none of us. I know my diehard friends. Y'all know my diehard friends. They're on there. I'm on the bandwagon, and I am subject to falling off. All right, I love listening to baseball and football games on the radio. And I'm so amped up with all this drama going on with the Atlanta Falcons right now. The Julio drama, the fact that they done drafted this young man that's as big as a house, that's going to protect the quarterback. I don't know what position, but he done already had to have a third heart procedure. And I think this is what his third heart. But technology is what it is today. Probably why the young man can't play football, but y'all better beware because he's gonna take somebody down. I can't wait to I'm that person. I got the radio on and the TV sound down, and I'm watching the game like that because I really want to go sit in the car and listen to it on the radio. So I'm gonna listen to because I love Westwood One, not even affiliated, but I love testosterone, and there's so much testosterone that come through in the way that they call the game. And I love every second of the game. I love every second being described to me. That's why I don't like being at the stadium. First of all, I got personal space issues, and I don't like nobody all sitting next to me, which is why I always get that +1. Like, I got to have that extra seat. And usually when I go places, I always have a +1, but I don't really invite nobody because nobody can really go on like what do you I see y'all? I can't even I don't even have the words of nor toleration for people, right? I'm like, I want to go to this. I want to go to this now. They're like, well, can we go in an hour? Can we go next week? No, I'm rolling out. Bye. See ya. Right? If you can roll like that, I always got a +1. I'm just saying. Because they were like, they always the drivers. There's 2 tickets at the wheel call for you. I got to get dressed? Oh my God. I'm just saying, y'all not live streaming. Nobody live streaming this thing. Well, we were kind of helping you. No, y'all ain't hit that link. I ain't live streaming nothing. I'm just saying, I always got a +1. And half the time, I ain't going. So if you want the tickets, ask me. Because that whole get dressed thing, it's 2019 about to be 2020. What do you mean? Honey, please. Okay, anyway, but still. I mean, that was an epic event last night. And I ain't experiencing not damn bit of FOMO because I was like, damn, y'all had to get hella dressed for that. I don't even have hella dress. My closet doesn't even support hella dress. And I got free wardrobe. I got a dress in there that's so bad, it just popped up one day. They were like, Dryer Buzz, I want to see you rock this. You mean get dressed? I'm telling y'all, I get my hair cut for free, all that stuff. Makeup, lashes. Do you know how long it takes to do all that? Y'all, I'm telling you, that's a 4-hour process. And I love it. And I love supporting all these people. And it's sensitive season, which means it's gala season. All this money I just talked about, people getting ready to raise. There's about to be a gala every weekend from now until New Year's freaking Eve. And I'm invited to it all. And I can't wait to see let me tell you, I cannot wait to see who's gonna rock the stage at the United Negro College Fund. They say UNCF now because they don't want to say Negro, but United Negro College Fund has been an entity forever and a day. And if you want these students out here getting these millions of dollars of scholarship, you need to have an ongoing campaign of giving to the United Negro College Fund with UNCF hashtag or whatever. Because that is a gala that's coming up. And fellas, you need to go get your tux, go get it fitted. Ladies, let me tell you, do not put on a dress that has not had alterations. Alterations makes the dress yours. I'm telling y'all, that is, of course, I grew up with a designer. My auntie is a designer. So alterations, I'm telling you, alterations make the dress yours. Fellas, alterations make the suit yours. You and a guy can buy the same exact suit. But when you take yours over to the tailor, if you don't start out at the tailor, if you go take that to the tailor and let him do what he do, she do, whatever, you're going to look good. I'm just saying. I'm sensitive to that kind of stuff. Because I'm sensitive to supporting people. But it is sensitive season. I want you to wake up sensitive. I hope that I've had some things. And even if I made you mad, I hope I made you motivated and determined. Because if you're not motivated and determined, you're just angry for no reason. I don't do angry for no reason, right? So thank you guys so much for listening. Got 2 minutes to tell you what's going on. All right, yes, we are headed back into the kitchen. And it may, because we want to do the whole football thing, we may just go live prior to the game. We may make it a tailgate. I think that's because, one, I am producing my own podcast. I have other podcasts. That's going to be our season. I'm going into producer mode. There are other people that want to launch cooking channels and channels and all of that. So I'm going behind the scenes on helping others launch some different things. So we will probably move in the kitchen with Dryer Buzz to a tailgate experience leading up to, that sounds good. Well, it depends on how long I stay on the Falcons bandwagon. But I think Sunday. What am I doing on Sunday? On a Sunday afternoon. Let me think. It might do it. I love Thursday football, though. I love Thursday night football. And I know on a Thursday night football, y'all don't tailgate as much on Thursday. So, because y'all not go, I don't know, would y'all watch me live for your tailgate? But then I want to go to the tailgating podcast. So maybe Thursday night, maybe we'll move it to Thursday. Then that way, what we cook on Thursday, you can then have the video to make it on Sunday. All right. See, I wanted a solution. Remember, what did I say? If you want a solution, say it outwardly, and the universe just shifted all that stuff around for me. So no longer Wednesday afternoon. We're gonna kick it off. When is the first Thursday football? Because this Thursday, who's playing? We gotta figure it out. Okay, we'll figure it out. All right. So Thursdays, you're gonna get in the kitchen with Dryer Buzz, and we're gonna take over. It's a tailgate takeover. Taking over tailgate because y'all are at home and at work, and there's some travel on a Thursday. Depending, I know. When is? Hold up. Did we get the schedule when we play the Saints? When are y'all traveling with? Because it's all about the Falcons and the Saints, right? Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let's go ahead and before I get y'all, this is real time podcasting. Let me go on here. Let me go to the NFL. Let me go to the NFL. Hold on. Let me see because this iPad don't be want to cooperate at all. Let me see. Let's go. Let's figure out this thing. Let's see. I know it's a podcast. We can go slow. NFL. It said 5 games. What? What? All right, let's see. Official app. I don't need official app. It says games. Okay, they still got. It says week 1. Oh, I'm like, why are there scores out here already? Yeah, because Packers defeated the Bears. That was yesterday. There was a game yesterday coming up on the 8th. Okay, so the Falcons are playing on Sunday the 8th. So there is no. Oh, wait, that was Thursday. Friday. I'm sorry. That was the Packers in the. Okay, damn. I know. Stop picking at me. Okay, I'm sorry. The Packers and the Bears. So officially, well, that's pretty cool because what we did do, we went shopping for In the Kitchen with Dryer Buzz on yesterday. So next Thursday. So what we'll do is we'll talk about it. We'll go live this Sunday, but Thursday. Let me see. So 9-8, 9-8. Let me see more games. All right. So we got the Falcons. Let's see who we got here. Okay, week 1. What is this one right here? Oh, that's what they call it. Oh, wait a minute. Week 5. Oh, that was preseason. Okay, so week 1, we have got the Packers and the Bears. They played yesterday. It was 10-3. You got the Chiefs and the Jaguars. You got the Falcons and the Vikings. I like the Falcons Viking game. Titans and the Browns, the Bills and the Jets, the Ravens and the Dolphins, the Redskins and the Eagles. You got the Rams and the Panthers. Ooh. I'm sorry. I'm on the Falcons bandwagon. I'm on the Falcons. The Colts and the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Seahawks. You got the Giants with the Cowboys, the 49ers with the Buccaneers. You got the Lions and the Cardinals. You got the Steelers and the Patriots. You have got, okay, then on Monday Night Football, we've got the Texans and the Saints. They got, how they get the Monday Night Football? They get to sit back and watch everybody's game and come in on a Monday, and then on the other side, see this, look at the Broncos and the Raiders. Them Raiders fans, them suckers is all over the daggone country, all over the world. Them Raiders fans. Did they move yet? And aren't they moving? When they supposed to be moving? I'm new to this. I'm coming back to the tailgate. I don't know what happened the last 5 years, but I'm coming back. All right, so back with the tailgate report. So week 2 will be the Thursday game, and the Thursday night game is going to be I'm sorry, I'm on the Falcons bandwagon. Thursday's night game will be the Buccaneers and the Panthers. The Buccaneers and the Panthers, which will get us ready for the Sunday game, which is going to be, wait a minute, it took me out. The Sunday game, the Falcons will face, did it go on? No. Okay, it's bringing up, it don't have it on there. It took me somewhere else. All right, I tried to hit more games. Okay, so Thursday, we will be live in the kitchen with, dang, what happened? Oh, it's still adding. No, it's not. Yes, it did. It added some more games. Okay. So, and it didn't show the Falcons. It showed something else. All right. So, Thursday, 9-12. Oh, I love 9-12. That's for 3. All right. So, we will be live with you before the Buccaneers. We'll do a pregame in the kitchen with Dryer Buzz with the Buccaneers and the Panthers on oh, look at NFL. They got the little video on there. So let's get ready for the Falcons and the Vikings on 8th. Dang, I want to see the schedule. If you are waiting on how to get out of bed, y'all can go. We done. I'm just trying to prep y'all for the other part of what we do, which is live in the kitchen. So we're gonna do. Well, I need to do the red and black nachos. I need to go ahead and do those. I'll do those Sunday. We'll go live Sunday, talking about what we're gonna do for the season. And I might have to figure this out because I don't know that I want to be. I'm thinking it's gonna have to be kind of an away game when the Falcons are away. Yeah, I got to figure that out, what I want to do. Because Thursday would be, we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. Because if I do Sunday, then you got to be bothered with a home game and an away game and all that kind of stuff. Because you know where we at during the home game. We are at Stan Smoke Sickness because Stan is a diehard Falcon fan. And he tailgates and it's all you can eat and drink at the tailgate. So, can't miss that. But on the away games, he's back in the spot. So, I don't know. And I don't know that I want to commit my Sunday, which is a moneymaker day for me. I don't know that I want to commit my Sunday to be in the kitchen. So, I'm thinking Thursday night football. Because then we can support, shout out some of the fans of the other. I'm just saying, just in case we fall off the Falcons bandwagon. And I don't know how long that bandwagon is going to roll. Looking at the schedule, I think we committed for the first 3 games. We should full on know what we're working with. And I know people like, well, the Julio deal. Honey, I ain't worried about Julio getting no money. I am worried about them protecting. Okay, week 2 is on here. And Cowboys kind of feel like this might be their year, but I'm like, shoot, y'all, it's been y'all year forever. Let me think, what else is going on here? Let me see. It's trying to look. Okay, but anyway, let me stop with that. Okay, so that's something I need to figure out. Also, on the 27th of September, 9/27, we are the Ask Dryer Buzz platform is coming back as well. And so right now I am recording the workshop, How to Rock a Podcast, how to grow your show like a pro. That's going to be available when we open up the new Ask Dryer Buzz online school for using social media for a business. So you get to watch for that as well. That's pretty much all the announcements I think I have. We'll be back. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I get the breath of life. Another How to Get Out of Bed podcast. The last 2 days, yesterday we did the exercise. I'm going to carry it over to today. Find out what makes you mad, motivated, and determined. What really makes you sad, sensitive about discussing. I might change that up because it's not flowing off my tongue like I want. But sensitive about discussing. What makes you sad? And what triggers that? Where's the solution in it? Only way to have a solution is to listen, say it out loud, and then listen. And all because we're really trying to get beyond some of the indignities that go on in our world. And those indignities have only been amplified because we live such public lives, particularly with social media. There's so much evidence. There's so much evidence of what is done wrong. There's not enough evidence of what is done right. And that's why I became a blogger, because I wanted to put that evidence before the public so that we can have true meaning, true conscience, not inconvenience those for the convenience of others. We can live a life with more ands than we do ors. And as we go into sensitive season, let's be mindful at what are some of the triggers so that we can really and truly enact and get to some solutions. And I just want to say thank you for listening to what is passionate to me. This is just simply something that is passionate to me, and I am sad, I'm sensitive about discussing it. I'll catch you guys next time, but I got one more thing that is for you to do for me, and that is...
Go now to DryerBuzz.com and follow @DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.